Story time with the three best friends you never knew you had. This is the News Junkie. The land at the end of our toes goes on and on and on and on. The sound and the cold of our bones.
Oh, this should be interesting. Now, do you remember this email, Sabrina?
Yes, I do.
When we first read this, which I guess was a couple of weeks ago now, and for those of you who don't, this was an email I got from Ryan, and he said, "Hi, Shawn, my name's Ryan. I heard a dispatch today with a guy joking about you being adopted. Take it from me, nothing is what it seems. I've been living a lie for 30 years." And he said, "Nearly 2 years ago, I discovered my father is not my biological father. Technically, I've been catfished my entire life. My mother went around telling the family that they sat me down years ago and explained everything to me. She told them never to bring it up because I don't like talking about it, and these skeletons have finally fallen out of the closet. I spoke to members of the family who have repeatedly apologized and said, 'We thought you knew.' Since discovering all this out, me and my fiancé have welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world, and we feel medically we need to know who my biological father is. My family, in quotes, is not being cooperative. I've not spoken nor seen my parents during the past 2 years." And he said he was looking into this to try to figure out who his dad was. Ryan has now done a DNA test with the guy who he thinks is his real dad, and he hasn't looked at this or anything. So we're going to actually figure out what was going on here. We're going to blow the lid off this whole thing.
Are you ready for this?
I think so. Ryan, thank you for coming in. I appreciate the time, man.
Thank you for having me.
And so you send this email. Obviously, you figure out at some point that you're the guy who you thought was your dad your entire life, not your father. How does that happen? How did the information finally leak out?
It was, I would say, I finally broke my grandmom down. I called her one day and I just let her have it. And I said, there's no way that these people, I'm related to these people.
Yeah. Wait, why did you feel so strongly that you weren't?
Growing up my whole life, it was kind of a joke. Everyone would say, what you the milkman's kid?
Mm-hmm.
You don't look like any of them. You don't act like any of them. Growing up, there was never that family bond.
Yeah.
It was always an awkward experience.
You just felt kind of like a stranger amongst them?
Yeah, just going out in public, going out to dinner, just always felt awkward.
Yeah. And so you're talking to Grandma, and you start going, "Hey, this guy, this is not my dad. Something's not right about this whole thing." And Grandma is holding what I guess was the family secret. So you said in the letter, they told everybody, "Look, he already knows, but he's sensitive about it. So don't bring it up around him," hoping that nobody would ever tell you.
Correct.
And then Grandma finally cracks. And then what? Do you just confront everybody in the family? Yeah,
it was a nasty process. It took a lot of screaming to finally get her to come out, but then it's just couldn't get anywhere from there.
Yeah.
Everyone, all they wanted to say was, yeah, it's true, you were adopted, but that's it.
Well, was your dad not a good dad growing up, or the guy who raised you, was he not a good father figure?
Growing up, it was really abusive, unstable. So, I mean, yeah, it's not so much that he wasn't a good father.
Yeah.
As, I need these answers.
Right.
And there's something that they're hiding.
What do you think they're hiding?
That's why we're here today.
Yeah. So you think that they're hiding something from you? And really the reason why he wants to figure out, Sabrina, he just had a daughter. Congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you.
And when you have a child, you want to know the medical history of your family.
Absolutely, especially if the information is available.
Yeah.
I mean, there's adoption processes where it's closed and you'll honestly never even get the name of the person.
Sure.
But if it is available and they're just hiding it from you, then, they should give it to you.
So if you got this big fight going on, I mean, you talking with any members of your family right now?
No.
So you do?
I'll get a text. I woke up to some text messages this morning because I guess they finally got the word. But no, I don't speak to them.
So they got the word that you're going to be on the show.
Yes.
And what are they saying to you? They're angry that you're coming on?
I'm pathetic. I'm going to embarrass myself. And it's funny that they can now contact me and be all negative.
Yeah.
Instead of just sending me the simple answers that I've been looking for 2 years.
Are you more mad that they didn't tell you all those years? Or are you more sort of relieved that you're figuring things out?
I'm relieved that I'm getting to the bottom of it. I'm angry that I have to go this route and that they're just not helping.
Right.
I mean,
so you had to go into like detective mode, I guess.
Pretty much.
You should have hired Sabrina for this. She's so good at chasing down this stuff.
I am. I could have gotten you the results immediately, but here we are now, huh?
15 minutes, she could find out more than anybody else out there. If this radio thing falls apart for you, you'd be a perfect private detective.
Thank you, Sean.
Get out there and investigate the case. So what did you do to investigate?
Well, we started pulling her information from a paid website.
Your mom's?
Yes.
Okay.
And reviewed all the information, and we seen that there was a relative that I had never heard of. The last name never rang a bell. So we pulled his name, and the only thing that linked them in the past was a house that I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled up his most recent known location, and I tracked him down and found him on Facebook.
Okay.
And
what do you say to this guy?
So,
So
this
I
is
think you're my dad.
Maybe, Dad.
So this is where it gets real good. Obviously he hasn't seen this coming. I sent him a message. I said, "Hey man, how are you?" And he said, "Good. How are you?" Do I know you? And I said, "I don't think so, but you may know my mother." And he said, "Well, who's that?" And I told him. And the next response was, "I heard you may be my son."
Really? So he kind of had some idea that this may be the case as well.
Yes.
And then so you said, "I'm going to get a DNA test."
So we actually talked on the phone for about 3 hours that day.
Yeah.
And
did you feel a connection with him? Like, I wonder, after all those years, Celine, would you think that you could talk to somebody and go, "Man, this just kind of feels like my dad in this conversation"?
Perhaps. I mean, I had a uncle that I didn't meet for my entire life until my grandmother was on her way out.
Uh-huh.
And when I met the guy, I went, "Man, he sounds just like my other uncle. Like this guy sounds like a Gonder."
Yeah.
You know?
Like
And
there's some kind of connection.
there was
there.
something about that. Now, that's because I had been around his family for a while. Where if it was something where there's one particular person that might be related to me, but I'm not around anybody else there, it might be harder to find a connection just organically.
Ryan, did you have that connection in the phone call?
No, I thought I was just trying to get answers.
Yeah.
There's, I've been trying to keep the emotion side out of it. He's extremely emotional. He's cried on the phone several times, and I just want the answers.
Now, do you want this guy to be your dad?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you start from the beginning? Like, are you guys going to go out into the front lawn and toss a baseball for the first time, or do you just fast forward?
We might. No, I mean,
do you want it more? Do you want him to be your dad when we look at this DNA test more so you just know the answer, or because he seems like a good dude?
More so that I know the answer, because if it comes back negative,
yeah, then
I'm at a brick wall. I mean, like I said, it's taken me 2 years to get to where I'm at right now.
Oh, this could be a disaster.
And there is absolutely no other leads.
And you haven't looked at the DNA test results at all?
I have not.
How did you not look at them? I've looked at them 100 times.
I did it for you, Sean.
He sends me
That's what you do.
Terrible reason. Terrible reason.
Just lie to me, man. He sends me a website. He's got the login and password, and I can find out, and I'll do this when we come back online, if this guy is actually Ryan's dad, and the rest of all this drama that's playing out. And Sabrina even went through the trouble of creating a song for this very moment.
You're amazing.
It's a bit of an intro song. We can play it now or right before we open up the results. It's up to you.
I think we should do both. Let's introduce it now.
Yo, 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 yo. They want to know who's your dad. La, 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 la. DNA. Gonna figure figure out who is your dad. Who's your dad? The news junkie is gonna get very weird. La 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 la.
There we go. I like it.
Nice.
Good job.
Wow, that got somebody dizzy.
I know, and stereophonic sound and everything.
You're welcome, America.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the DNA test results when we come back and find out if you got an answer to all this. We'll get the potential father on the phone when we return. What's his name, the guy you think might be your dad?
John.
All right, John, we'll get John on the phone. We'll figure all this out and solve the world's problems when we come back. It's the News Junkie on Real Radio.
If you're not confused, you are not paying attention. This is the News Junkie.
We're getting into things here. I feel like it's a big responsibility for me because I have in front of me the DNA test. Now, if you're just catching up with us, so Ryan emailed me, found out something about his family. We were talking about a story where somebody realized that the parent wasn't their parent after a very long time. Ryan realized that very same thing, that his dad wasn't his dad and that the family had orchestrated what he said was a lie to keep him from that information. Finally broke through, found out what was going, that you were indeed adopted, and then you had just recently had a daughter, so you wanted to find out for medical reasons, and probably just curiosity, honestly, who your real father was. And you said, and what I'm picking up from what you're saying is, kind of just, right now you're not talking to anybody in your family.
Correct.
Except for some fighting over text messages that are coming in as you do the show today. But you don't get along with them, and now you've got this guy, John, who you think is potentially your dad. You don't know John enough to get along with him or not get along with him.
No, never met him.
But you had some conversations with him, and you were telling me that he told you a weird story about your past that kind of threw you off a little bit.
Yeah. So after first made contact with him, we got on the phone, and he started from the beginning. He explained to me, that he said there's absolutely no way I could not be your father. He said just the timeline, allegedly, my mother had him arrested and set up for a domestic dispute.
Oh, this guy, John?
Yes.
Okay.
During that time, he said he'd never even seen the divorce coming. He said, and I couldn't believe this, but it was after their divorce. He said that she was involved in a very serious car accident.
Okay.
And he explained the scar that's on the side of her head. And he told me that he was notified that she had passed away.
Okay, so he thought your mom was dead.
He told me until he spoke to me, he thought that she had passed away.
Okay. Did somebody tell him that she had died? Maybe we should get John in the picture. This is the guy you think might be your dad before we get to the DNA test. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
John, is this whole thing a little bit weird for you?
Yeah, like I said, after this whole situation where we had gotten together one day, she was helping me out, follow me back into town with her vehicle. An accident ensued. I knew she was injured. I just didn't know how bad. When they got her to the hospital, of course, I had informed her mom that we were on the way to the hospital. She got there before we did. When I got to the hospital, her mother would not let me go anywhere near the ER.
Okay.
Basically said, you're divorced. There's no reason for you to be here. There's no reason for you to have the information. She's no longer your wife.
All right. So you had thought she was dead? Or you thought Ryan's mom was dead at some point?
Well, that's, after a couple of days, my mother had sat me down and said, I had talked to Patty's mother, and she had said that Patty had passed away and for me to just get on with my life, and the family was not going to let me get closure as far as, a service or funeral or what have you. I was just to get on with my life.
Well, John, do you think that you're Ryan's dad?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
All right. You think that you are Ryan's dad. You don't know the results of this DNA test either, huh?
No, I do not.
All right. So should we just get into it?
Let's play the song,
Yeah.
and then you can announce it afterwards.
Play the song.
God forbid the song. Hold
Yeah.
on.
All right. Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. They want to know who's your dad. La, 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 la. DNA. Gonna figure out who is your dad. Who's your dad? The news junkie is gonna get very weird. La, 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 la.
All right.
Singing along to your own song in the studio over there?
Well, someone has to support myself.
Just kind of dancing along to her own song.
You ready?
Yes, I am. All right. I'm looking here at the DNA test results.
In the case
John,
of John.
the potential father on the line, and Ryan here in the studio with us. He's not your dad. I'm just going to read from what I have in front of me. It says, the alleged father is excluded as the biological father of the tested child. This conclusion is based on the non-matching alleles observed at the loci. I don't know, a bunch of science stuff.
A non-matching relative?
Alleles in the
Who's
DNA. The alleged father lacks the genetic markers that must be contributed to the child by the biological father. The probability of paternity is 0%. How does that news hit you, Ryan?
The hunt's going to continue.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, do you have other leads besides John? John, how does that hit you?
It's kind of depressing a little bit. I really wanted to be his dad.
Oh man,
Frustrating.
You could still be
Beyond
his dad.
frustrating.
well, you guys can still have a friendship.
Yeah, you guys can still play catch if you want.
Yeah.
Well, I told Ryan, I said, if you don't find your father, I'll be more than willing to, act as your father. I'd be there for you. We'd be family. Whatever he would need, I'm there for him.
That's very
super nice.
sweet.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I've never had a son, so that would be kind of neat for me.
Well, today is not your day in that world. It's 0% probability of paternity. I'm sorry to give you that news, both of you.
But that doesn't. It's not the end all.
No,
It is not. There's just
that does
more
not
searching.
mean that the story or the search ends here for you.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to, hopefully one of your listeners out there will hear this and want to offer up some type of advice or help, or because I'm stuck.
Well, now Ryan, you don't have any other leads?
like
The lead I have is my mother. She's the key. She holds it all, and she won't, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
She will not share that advice.
Why would you do a DNA test with the guy who was your father as you were growing up? Is there any chance whatsoever that could be your real dad?
No, because they've already came out and said that he told me himself.
He says not.
Yeah, that apparently he adopted me when I was about 1 or 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hate to break that news. Let's talk to Christy. You're on Real Radio. Hello, Christy.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to speak to Ryan a minute because I've been looking for my father for all my life, 36 years, and I found out recently in 2005 and been searching every avenue ever since. And my mom, I found out, I talked to her, she didn't want to tell me because he wanted her to get an abortion, and then shortly after he went to jail, so she never wanted me to know him.
Jesus.
And, I just found out from my aunt that he went to the ER for to remove a kidney, and I've had kidney stones.
Yeah.
So, it's very important, and I don't know why families hide this information. I mean, whatever you did in your past, it's your past. I got to know him, I know his name. I know where about he lives, but that's it. I even looked for his house.
Well, do you have a question for Ryan?
Yeah, I wanted to know what show you contacted because this is my only avenue left.
What show I contacted?
Did you contact a show to help them find your father? Or I know there's shows out there.
No. We there's multiple paid websites out there where you can pull up information. You just give a first name, last name, and they'll pull up all their relatives and their housing history and
Like
their alias.
Ancestry.com type of stuff, or?
No, it's
phone numbers.
Yeah, it will have phone numbers. It will have email addresses. It will have every location that they've ever lived in, and you just take it from there. Do what I did. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, in my favor, but I found him. I just did the simple. I pulled up his most recent address and I typed it into Facebook because Facebook allows you to Google down to the exact town, and he popped up, and that's where we're at.
So legally speaking, your mom can still withhold that information. Like, I mean, maybe this is something to ask an attorney.
That's
but
definitely a question for an attorney. Because, I mean, now do you have the legal right to know what you're trying to figure out?
unless there was some
I would assume so, yes.
unless there was some written contract or legal papers that say that it was a closed adoption or that information can't be released, she has to be able to tell
I
me,
would
right?
think so.
She has to.
I know, let's talk to Dan. You're on Real Radio. Hello, Dan.
Hey, sir, how you doing today?
Good. Go ahead.
Hey, got some suggestion for Ryan. My cousins and I have been very active in following our family tree and tracing our tree and our roots of our family. There are genealogical groups that are local here in the areas, and you can actually look up your family's name in a book. There are books with your family's name, and every birth, every death, everything that there is about your family is in the book of your family.
Would you want to find out more about that?
Oh yeah,
It's very interesting. You just go to. I know Sanford has one. Orlando has one. You just got to look. You just got to kind of look them up.
All right, hang on, Dan. I'll get his information so we can tell you more about that if you want to.
My whole thing is, how am I supposed to look someone up when I don't know who I'm looking up?
I don't know. I mean, it's a very tough thing. If anybody has any advice, suggestions, any of that stuff.
On your birth certificate, it says that your fake father is your real father.
Yes.
All right, so that's what you. So legally, he is your father, but
Legally, yes.
Not genetic. Oh, this is complicated. I wish it just would have said that John was your dad.
Me
That would have
too.
been easier.
We could have just
been
wrapped
a
this
little
whole thing
easier.
up. Keep us involved in what's happening. Let us know what the next step is if you end up finding this. I hope you do, Ryan. Honestly, I hope you figure it all out so you can come to some sort of conclusion here for the sake of your daughter and everybody else. But I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And sharing your story. We'll be back in just a second. It's the News Junkie on Real Radio.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is the News Junkie. I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go.
I feel bad now.
Oh, boy.
I feel bad now.
Why?
I thought for sure he had cheated and looked at the DNA test results beforehand.
Did you tell him not to?
No, I didn't tell him not to, but he said, I haven't looked, I've saved it here. And he was sure that guy was his father.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, Ryan's a nice guy. I hope he finds what he's looking for.
I also feel bad because we need to work on your DNA test revealing skills.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
He's not your dad.
Everybody cracked
Now-
simultaneously.
Play that again. The moment I give the results to Ryan, I was uncomfortable because I think Ryan is a good dude, and he seems nice as far as I know him. And I just hope he finds the answers that he's looking for because he's got a new daughter in his life and stuff. And I wanted there to be a positive ending. He's not your dad.
Oh. Now, take it from...
Do you hear dad on you hear not dad on the phone?
Yeah. Take it from the expert of telling people whether or not they're fathers, Mr. Maury Povich. This is how you do it.
In the case of 6-month-old Annika James,
Need some music.
you are not.
You need music and drums.
I need the audience.
David, you are not.
And then, ready?
He's not your dad.
Oh, my God, Sean. Where do you even go from there?
I don't know. Honestly, lots of emails coming in. Kathy says to tips at thenewsjunkie.com, Ryan searched for his dad. He could do the 23andMe or Ancestry.com DNA test. And once the results are registered, if there are any matches in the system, they will come up, even if it's distant cousins. Worth a shot. Lots of other people with advice for Ryan, which I'll absolutely pass along. That process is a tough one, to try to do the investigation yourself. He's not an investigator. He doesn't know how to mount this search, and he's not getting the help that he looked for. His family had been emailing. We tried to give them a chance to say their piece, their side of the story. They didn't. I gave you all the information that I had, and I gave what I thought was a very solid review. Yeah.
Can you play one? I almost want to replace the next episode clip
What?
with it.
You're talking about? I told him in the best way I knew how. I told him, oh, this is his dad? Well, what do you call anything anymore? This is the person who raised Ryan, I believe. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here, sir.
Did you hear our conversation with Ryan?
Yeah, and I can tell you it's all bull hockey.
Really? So what do you mean it's bull? You think he's lying?
Most of the story, he was lying.
Well, did you really keep from Ryan that you weren't his dad for his whole life?
Yes, I did. And there was one good reason why.
Why?
Would you care to share that?
Yeah, well, for one, it was a closed adoption.
Uh-huh.
And two, his sperm donor was nothing but a piece of crap and wanted nothing to do with him. And we wanted to keep that away from his life.
Yeah. Is that? But I mean, can you understand that Ryan's probably kind of going through some things though?
Ryan's going through things through his own mind.
Yeah.
All right. He's letting other people on the other side of the aisle manipulate his decisions. The people that he's with now control everything that he does and has everything to do, taking things away, making him just make decisions that is not best in his interest.
Yeah.
As his father, as the man who raised him, I made sure he had a roof over his head. I made sure he had clothes on his back. And I made sure that boy had food in his stomach.
Yeah.
I was his coach on t-ball, baseball, basketball, soccer. I was there every minute of that boy's life.
Okay. So
till he was 13 months old. That's when I stepped into that boy's life. And I made the decision to adopt him.
So it wasn't a closed adoption. That you guys do know who his father is.
It is a closed adoption.
But do you know? I mean, are you aware or are you not aware who his father is? I mean, biologically.
Yes, I do.
Why not just tell him?
No, he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it for his...
No, that stuff for medical reasons, that's nothing but bull hockey. That's poppycock.
Well, I don't understand. Why does he not need that?
He doesn't need to know. If he needs to know any medical information, look into himself.
But he can find I think isn't that what he's trying to do? And you're saying you have the information, but you're saying 100% no chance in hell you're going to tell him the answer to the question he's asking.
He would have had that answer if he would have went about it the right way. 2 years ago, when he made this landmark decision on disrespecting his whole family and disrespecting his grandmother, using his child as a pawn, and then having his girlfriend and her mother manipulate and start bull crap with the entire family and think they did nothing wrong,
right?
Then there's a whole different ball game that you haven't seen. There's only one side you've seen so far, and that's Ryan's side.
Well, it sounds like we opened a can of worms here.
Oh, yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of really disappointed and really disturbed on the whole situation, because if he would have been in the right frame of mind, he would have made the right decision, and he would have came to us. We did not sit him down.
Well, there's one thing I'm not grasping. He really, 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 really wants to know this. You know the answer. Is there any chance at all that you're going to tell him? And I just don't understand why not, if so.
No, we're never going to tell him now.
Oh, now because of this?
Well, that and his other previous actions and the people that's made his decision for him. We did nothing but help him. All right. When he was younger, he was, rebellious, as any young boy would be.
Uh-huh.
Me and his mother spent thousands and thousands of dollars in legal bills trying to keep his butt out of jail.
Yeah.
Because of the stuff he's done. If we didn't love him like we do, we wouldn't have did half the stuff that we did, because now he's being so disrespectful. He's being...
Well, what do you want to tell him? Ryan's on with you now.
Good.
What do you want to tell him? Or Ryan, do you have anything to say back?
Yeah. It's plain and simple. Just give me the answers. I mean, we don't need to sit here and bicker back and forth. You know, you guys are showing exactly the type of people that I'm dealing with, and you're not being helpful. You're not getting your point across.
People we're dealing with, which is you, your girlfriend, her mother, starting stuff, and you thinking that they're not doing nothing wrong. But yet again, when we lash out against the whole situation, you think that we're all doing everything wrong, and we're all against you, and that's far from the truth.
And what do they have to do with knowing who my biological father is?
Do you know
how are they a part of any of this? You could have settled the square years ago.
Why not, Ryan?
Why are you sitting there lying on the phone?
Did I not?
Whoa, everybody calm down. Hold on. Everybody calm down for just a second. Ryan's dad, why not just tell him right now to end the whole thing?
I'm sorry, but that information is closed. And he will never
now you guys
never get that information, and you wonder why we are the way we are. It's because of your damn actions.
Well, it doesn't seem very. So you're punishing him. What you're saying? You're punishing him by not telling him.
He's punished the family with his actions, and he wants the answers. He should have went about it the whole different way. He should have went about it and being disrespect and being respected.
Well, you did lie to him his whole life.
Did I not?
As far as a lie, I raised that boy since he was 13 months old, so that's not a lie. To me, he is my son. I raised him, and that's the end of it.
But it's not the end of it.
Not for him.
He still wants to know who his biological father is.
He wants to find his biological father?
It doesn't take away what happened.
Go right ahead and do it. Because I can tell you, you're going to run into a brick wall, just like you said.
Because of you guys. You guys are the brick wall.
Yeah, you're the solution to this. Just tell him right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't add no solutions because you know why? He doesn't add any solutions to his actions.
Mm-hmm.
So until he adds solution to his actions and the way him and his girlfriend and his mother is reacting to our family and disrespecting our family, we ain't going to give him squat. The minute he turns around that attitude, the minute he starts respecting people that he has to deal with, that's when we are going to give him the answer that he needs.
Ryan, are you willing to do that?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, I think it's clear as day what I'm having to deal with and the route that I had to take. So you can see how difficult it's been.
Well, it's not an end all. I think everyone needs to have a sit down, perhaps with a third party.
There's no sit down. I'm sorry.
But you're asking him to make up for his you're asking him to make up for his actions. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, she's exactly right. Ryan said you're saying, hey, you got to turn things around, but now you're saying I'm not going to talk to you.
No, there was time to talk to me. There was time, instead of lying on the damn radio about everything, there was time to talk to me and coming to me and being respectful about it. That time has done.
I don't think one thing out of my mouth was a lie. You've just proven my point.
Really? Being abusive? Who was abusive, Ryan?
Do you want to get in the details?
Tell me that. Get into
multiple
it.
Callers that can call up and back my story up.
Well, you go right ahead and you do that, boy. Because I got multiple callers, and I really don't need it because I.
And we have
really
multiple
care.
lines, so we can put them all on the same time.
All right, this is not going to come to any kind of solid resolution. It sounds like we have uncovered a real can of worms here. Ryan's dad, I have one last question for you, if you don't mind. I'm kind of getting some grief for it, actually. Did you think my reveal was impressive when I gave the answers to the DNA test? Will you play that for him real quick? He's not your dad. Oh. Thoughts?
I think I'd like to quote fake dad by saying that was bull hockey.
Yeah.
When you did that.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan.
Bull hockey.
Oh man. What do we open up here? What do we get into?
Can this be considered the next episode, or do I?
I think we're going to have to do that a little bit later on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I
didn't expect that to happen.
What did you do?
I don't know.
This is why you do the news. This is why you don't reveal paternity tests.
Maury, does it ever end up like this?
No.
Oh, yeah, I think it does,
Yes,
actually.
no, now that you think about it. But they have way more time.
All right, hang on. Let's talk to Phil. You're on Real Radio. Hello, Phil.
Hey guys, man, you guys opened up a bad thing there, man. I mean, it started out so good, a reveal and all, but this dad, here's my point, this dad is not using the wisdom of a father. If he loves his son, tell him who the real father is. Let him discover for himself what this person's like and quit being spiteful. He's only driving his son further and further away the way he's acting.
Yeah. I mean, well, what am I going to do? Phil, I tried to get him to just tell him right there, and then they move on. But it seems like it's not going to happen.
No, it's spiteful now. That dad needs to wise up. If he wants his son back, he's going to have to treat him with respect, because respect is earned.
Yeah.
And, listen, I understand him not telling his son that he was adopted, because if you have a kid and he's grown up, all he's known is you, and he's cool with that, why does he even need to know he's adopted? Because that just messes with a person's psyche. I've seen it too many times. But obviously someone told him, and he does have a right to know once he's told.
Sure. I mean, I would
and also,
think so.
it doesn't sound like the truth is there.
No.
A closed adoption is a big difference than knowing who, like he said, sperm donor, but he also said that this guy wanted nothing to do with him. So it seems like he knows.
I thought you were exactly right when you said he's saying, unless you turn around your attitude, we're not going to tell you. And then when you talk about having a meeting and sitting down and changing things, then no, that's not going to happen. Those two things don't work together.
No, not anyway. But if anyone else is interested confronting, your fathers, stepfathers, or possible adoptive fathers, this is the place to come.
Well, clearly, I know how to handle myself around this, and you know how to make the perfect song for the occasion. We can use that at any different story that we run into. I thought this was going to go a different way.
What way did you think it was going to go, Sean?
Positivity, happiness. George is your dad. Wrap it up and move along.
Maybe you should have just lied.
Hadn't planned on.
He's not your dad. Oh. What if I can't lie to him? The guy's going through a lot.
Be like, it's your dad. Psych!
Oh, no, that's an inappropriate time to do that. Let's talk to Dukalak. You're on Real Radio. Hello.
Dukalak. Hey, it's his mother's father, I believe. I believe it's his grandfather's biological father.
Oh, that's
Oh. Well, no. I mean, where are you getting that from?
Yeah, because why is his legal father being so spiteful about it? He's stuck on I'm not gonna tell you. Maybe he's trying to protect them.
No, I don't think that's it. I think what's happening here is it's just internal fighting in a family, and I think we can all connect with that on some level. I mean, hell, Sabrina, I know I've seen this before when you get infighting in the family, and infighting in the family is worse than fighting with just your friend or something.
Oh, for sure.
It's hard to overcome that, and when it builds and builds and builds and builds, it becomes something very difficult to deal with. That's kind of what we're seeing right here.
So where do we?
Let's just take one more call here. Let's talk to Eric. You're on Real Radio. Hello, Eric.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, I've called in before. I've actually called with the same issue with the monsters like about 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But after about 40 years now, I'm just now getting contact with my biological father.
Jeez.
It's been a very sore spot with my family. I got in touch with his mom first. Unfortunately, his mom passed away. She was supposed to come to Orlando before that happened.
Yeah.
But it sounds like this Ryan's fake dad just doesn't want to release control. There's a lot more to this, and I could say I went down a lot of the same roads with the legal issues when I was a kid. This is what happens with
this,
man.
It's a can of worms that gets opened up. A lot of drama with it. We're going to do the next episode a little bit later after live trivia or so, whenever you want to get that done.
That works.
We'll do that. We'll be back in just a moment. It's the News Junkie on Real Radio.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is the News Junkie.
But we had some developments happening during the show today. And I want to say something to Ryan. Ryan, who came in today and had the results that I looked at and told him about the DNA test to see if some guy was his dad. And it turns out, unfortunately, as nice as the guy was, he wasn't Ryan's dad. And then Ryan's dad called in, his father who raised him, and there was a lot of back and forth. It was very dramatic stuff. I feel for you, and if there's anything we could do to help you out in this process, let me know. Absolutely let me know, and I'm there to help you however I possibly can. I know I'm well known for telling a girl I was going to find her dad one time and then not doing it, but I will help you in whatever way I can.
You've actually done the opposite for Ryan.
Yeah. I'm not batting 1,000 on that, if I'm honest, but I feel for you. That was a tough thing to go through. And for you and your family, who may still be listening to the show, just work it out. I mean, you guys are, despite all of this, still family. You grew up together. Whatever problems there are below the surface that came out in that whole can of worms, I hope truly that everybody can remain calm and get past that. So I'll leave it at that. We'll get into these dispatches before we do the next episode. Here's Tissy Cat with a dispatch.
So just to recap, the dude was like, wow, I really wanted to be his father. I never had a son. Sean interjects with, well, you have zero probabilities of it happening today. Not today. Wow. Sean, you're right. You have no capabilities of interacting with human emotions. Too funny. I can't with you.
I want to say thanks.
True,
But, I mean, kind of an insult. It's true.
You never learn your lesson. You just you say, hey, this is going to be something interesting. And then you forget that you're the one leading the whole thing. and you wonder that maybe it won't go as awkward as possible. And that's exactly what happened.
He's not your dad.
Oh, God.
Here's OMG, it's Price.
Hey, first of all, I do want to say I'm very sorry that Ryan wasn't able to find out who his biological father was here on the show today, and I wish him luck moving forward. I'm not going through the same thing, but I guess sort of similar. My mother never knew who her biological father was, and my grandmother never really opened up about it. We all wanted to know the same sort of thing, health hazards, health risks, and all that, but my grandmother was a steel trap and just never let it out. Moreover, for me, now that I'm a father of my own for the last 11 years, I really wanted to have a complete family tree for my son, and I was never able to do that. And, going back, my last previous generations, myself included, we were all born in Jamaica. So it's not like we can just go on Ancestry.com or anything like that and try to figure things out. It's always been difficult. One of those things I wanted to provide for my son, but my grandmother never opened up, and we never got that answer. So I certainly do hope that Ryan has better luck than me.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of people who are going through the same damn thing.
I know. And there's some people who never get those answers. And what's unfortunate is that Ryan's the father, the guy who raised Ryan, has the answer.
Yeah.
And he's just
that's it.
Holding it against him. Like, you messed up. You were disrespectful. This is what you did. I'm like, just be done with it.
That's the thing that got me the most.
Take that to the grave.
Here's Chris.
You're the father. He's the father. I'm the father. C-Lane's the father. No, screw it. Blame it on C-Lane.
All right, here's Charlie.
I had joined in a little late on that. My last dispatch was a little bit wrong. If he was really adopted, and this really is a difficult situation, I can understand the frustration from both sides. I do agree with that one caller, I think his name was Phil, with how respect is something that's earned.
Yeah.
And it's got to go both ways. And it really is sad that it is boiling down to what it is, because what's happening now is their relationship is just growing further and further apart, and this isn't going to help it get any better.
No, this isn't going to help anything. We did no service to helping out what they have going on between them today. It made it worse. But I hope that they're able to make it better on their own. without a Sean Watson in the equation. Just remove me from...
You just offered help, bud.
Live trivia.
Get ready for live trivia with the News Junkie. You can play along with the News Junkie smartphone app. Right. What? Unless you don't have it, in which case get it at thenewsjunkie.com or call 407-916-1041. Toll free 888-978-1041. Good luck.
It's live trivia for a Tuesday, June 27, 2017. Live trivia brought to you by Nations Trucks. They're online at nationstrucks.com. In front of me, 7 questions, things we discussed on the show yesterday, items in the news, all of that good stuff. 2 callers head-to-head in just about 30 seconds or so. All of you around the world can play along in the News Junkie app. Sabrina, pick your players. Had some lines tied up by other stuff that was happening, but we've got some players. Bull hockey, Ryan's real dad, Wrinkles, Maury, and Justin.
How about Maury?
Maury is over here. Are you with us, Maury?
Hello, Sean. I think it's time to let everyone know that you are not the father of Joel's son.
Oh, wow. That stings a little bit.
That is bull hockey.
You still want to play live trivia?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who do you want to go up against? Sabrina, pick the other player?
Ryan's real dad?
Oh. Ryan's real dad, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, you heartless bastard. Ryan's real dad and Maury, the players in live trivia today. Best of luck to both of you. Let's start off with question number 1. Sabrina was absent from the show yesterday for what event in Charleston, South Carolina? Was it a Beyonce concert, a wedding, a baby shower, or a bachelorette party? Maury.
Bachelorette party.
All right, what do you think, Ryan's real dad?
A wedding.
And we go to number 2. Eminem turned heads after sporting a new beard at the premiere of what? Was it the premiere of Veep, Orange is the New Black, Silicon Valley, or the Defiant Ones? Ryan's real dad.
The Defiant One.
Maury.
Same one.
Number 3, a man's neighbors are raising concern after he started playing what song every day on his loudspeaker? Was this guy playing Taps, the Thong Song, Proud to be an American, or America the Beautiful? Maury.
Proud to be an American.
Ryan's real dad.
Taps.
Number 4, Anonymous released another robot-sounding message to the people of the world, this time addressing what? Donald Trump's hair, ISIS's MySpace page, alien life, or bacon and eggs song? Ryan's real dad.
Aliens.
Maury.
Alien life.
Number 5, I started burning bridges yesterday after learning what radio personality was voted into the Radio Hall of Fame. Was it Robin Quivers, Don Imus, Bobby Bones, or Dirty Jim? Maury?
First one.
All right, Ryan's real dad?
Bobby Bones.
Number 6, yesterday the show celebrated what milestone? The 4th arrest, 4 years on air, 4 million chat lines, or a 4th member of the show, Ryan's real dad.
Can you repeat them?
Yeah, what milestone did we celebrate yesterday? 4th arrest, 4 years on air, 4 million chat lines, or the 4th member?
4 years on air.
And go ahead, Maury.
4 years on air.
To the final question. We learned yesterday what long-running television series was canceled so quickly the cast and crew weren't even told about it. Was it MASH, Gilligan's Island, Gunsmoke, or McHale's Navy? Maury.
Can you repeat the answers?
Sure. MASH, Gilligan's Island, Gunsmoke, or McHale's Navy?
Gunsmoke.
And Ryan's real dad.
For the win and the perfect score, Gunsmoke.
All right, we'll see about that. Hang on tight. We'll go over the questions and the answers. Find out who the winner is in live trivia today. Ready to go through these, Sabrina?
Yes, I am.
All right, it's the battle between Maury and Ryan's real dad. We start with question number 1. Sabrina, you were absent from the show yesterday. We do know that you were in Charleston, South Carolina, but what were you doing? Were you at a Beyonce concert, a wedding, a baby shower, or a bachelorette party?
Ryan's real dad said that I was at a wedding, and that answer was...
Poppycock.
It was incorrect. Maury said bachelorette party, and that answer was 100% right.
The turnaround of this show is just rapid fire, man. Just quick. Number 2, Eminem turned heads after sporting a new beard to the premiere of what? Veep, Orange is the New Black, Silicon Valley, or the Defiant Ones?
Both the players said the Defiant Ones, and both of you are the right ones.
Number 3, a man's neighbors are raising concern after he started playing what song every single day at 8 o'clock. He would play this on these loudspeakers outside. Neighbors got mad. Was it Taps, the Thong Song, Proud to be an American or America the Beautiful?
Maury said proud to be an American, and that answer was...
Poppycock.
Ryan's real dad said taps. That answer was right.
Number 4, Anonymous released another robot-sounding message to the people of the world, this time addressing what? Donald Trump's hair, ISIS's MySpace page, alien life, or the song from Bacon and Eggs?
Both the players said alien life, and that answer was out of this world.
Number 5, yesterday I started burning some bridges after learning what radio personality was voted into the Radio Hall of Fame. Robin Quivers, Don Imus, Bobby Bones, or Dirty Jim?
Maury said Robin Quivers, and that answer was...
Poppycock.
It was, I believe, the real dad of Ryan that said Bobby Bones, and that answer was right.
Had a syndicated radio show for 3 years. 3 years in the Hall of Fame.
It's a little...
3 years.
He's a little heated.
What, do you want to be in the...
No, the whole thing is useless now. It's a wasteland of idiocy over there.
I mean, Bobby Bones was around for a while, though.
No, 3 years. 3 years he's been doing a syndicated show.
Before that?
Before that, he did just a show in Austin or something. And it's obviously not the time in his career when you would do that. What a stupid... All right, moving along.
Poppycock.
Number 6, yesterday the show celebrated what milestone? 4th arrest, 4 years on air. 4 million chat lines are the 4th member of the show.
Both players said 4 years on air, and that was real radio.
Number 7, the final question. What long-running television...
And a stretch.
What?
My pun.
Real radio? I muscled right along. What did we learn yesterday about a long-running television series that was canceled so quickly the cast and the crew weren't even told? Was that MASH, Gilligan's Island, Gunsmoke, or McHale's Navy?
Maury and Ryan's real dad both said Gunsmoke, and guess what?
You got it, dude.
We do have a winner of live trivia, and that's Ryan's real dad.
All right, congratulations. Ryan's real dad, you are the winner of live trivia today. Hang on tight. We got to get some information from you so we can hook you up with the prize you're choosing. Let's spin that Skywall Summer Prize. Oh, that's right. Oh, it just feels right.
Oh, come on.
We don't have a Skywall Summer Prize. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ryan's real dad lost out on a lot of things today. Just the latest in a line of follies there.
Bull hockey.
But we still have great prizes. C-Lane, what do we have today?
You may not have your son, but you do have a pair of tickets to see Orlando Pride take on the Chicago Red Stars on Saturday, July 1st at 5 p.m. at the Orlando City Stadium. Tickets on sale now. Visit realradio.fm, keyword tickets for info.
I'm getting hot.
Also have a $50 gift certificate to Pyro Spot Fireworks, your local source for the biggest and best massive selection of multi-shot cakes, mortars, rockets, and more, with 2 convenient locations in Longwood and Eustis, and buy one, get one free on all of the fireworks. You can register for that shopping spree at iwantfireworks.com. We actually heard from somebody yesterday who got the shopping spree.
Said it was amazing.
Walked away with damn near $2,000 worth of fireworks.
Oh, that's incredible. Now I feel inappropriate. I was saying, buy one, get one. So you get one for yourself and...
Let's do the scoreboard, please.
At the top of the scoreboard with all of the points. Just killing it right now.
Somebody's not ready.
And Fancy Nancy.
All right.
She's winning at everything lately. My
Bull
gosh.
hockey.
She's going to have triple prizes if this keeps up. Jake from State Farm after her laser blade. My sweet ass. Steezy, Baflomi, Ian, Testicular Manslaughter, Tyler Allen Hopkins, and Maddie Kidd. The back 5 looked like Marita, Comb Thatch's hair.
All right.
Comb that chest hair.
Comb Fascist hair.
Sasha's hair.
Buckeye Girl, Just the Tip, and Hooey.
Thank you all for playing along. We do appreciate it. You, too, can join in on live trivia if this isn't the end of the show at 3 o'clock.
It's only going to get better from here, my friends.
Sign up, play along, search for The News Junkie in the App Store to download the app. Get in the chat room, chat along with other people who are fans of the show, and just good old people for you to be friendly with. Send in dispatches, all that.